Hey everybody. Just give a couple minutes for people to tune in. Um, I am very grateful to join all of you today. Really grateful to Native Wellness Institute for the invitation to come be with you and share some music, share some songs, and just a little bit about me, my journey. Sorry, I got a bunch of cords laying around. Um, and yeah, just spend the hour with all of you. So I'm really grateful and hope everyone can hear me okay. Let me know if you have any issues at all hearing me or anything like that. But I just wanted to get started by thanking especially NWI. We are in our Power Hour week 20. So, for 20 weeks straight, the Native Wellness Institute has been offering power hours almost daily since the pandemic and the quarantine began. And it's been such a special offering by NWI to hold this space for us virtually through social media. So thank you so much to Jolene and Shailene and the whole NWI team. There's been so many folks who have blessed us in so many ways. Our sponsor for this Power Hour today is the Urban Indian Health Institute of the Seattle Indian Health Board, which is actually where I come from, Coast Salish territory up in the Pacific Northwest. And I'll share a little bit more about my upbringing and the people who have guided me and taught me and molded me into the Suquamish woman that I am today. And I'll start with just a brief intro, a cappella verse that I like to share anytime that I'm blessed to, be in space and share my art. So I'll start with this. From the Northwest to North California, in Yalamu I'm a guest to inform ya. Salish born and raised in Suquamish, Skalalam, Yakima, and Duwamish. Also Puyallup like my auntie Ramona. Came to the Bay to attain that diploma. Western educated native at the surface. But at this epicenter I found my purpose. Arranging words and sounds to implore you. It's a disservice to our healing to ignore truth. Who's at the forefront of every social movement? Women and youth, and usually college students. Can't chant social justice without the inclusion of native people. Our struggle ain't an illusion. Our culture sculpted by the land and the water. We offer, we barter, canoe to get stronger. We rising and dying, existing, resisting, oppression, digressing, won't take it much longer. Twagwalapu asquadida chud. Hatis lachel si abdi ishud. To all of you, I am grateful to each and every one of you who are joined in with us today via the NWI Power Hour. I'm very grateful. I try to live my life in constant gratitude through all of its complexity, and I'm just very grateful to be here. This is a really good day, and in our language, we try to address you folks as honorable people. You are honorable, and you are my relations, my friends. I'm speaking the ancestral language of Coast Salish territory, the Twolshutsi language. And my people predominantly come from the southern dialect of the Lashutsi language. So I introduce myself, Calina Lawrence, Seedsta, Sokwab, Tol Al Chaduf Sakwab, Nancy Alexis, Seedsta, Seedskoy, Steve Lawrence, Teedsta, Teedba, Tol Al Chaduf Sakwab, Us Joe Il Chud, Luk Ob Il Chud, Lu Walach Chud, Tsegui, Tubuhled, Hawadubsh Chalup, Twal Ramaitush, Oloni, Hoyafchad. My name is Calina Lawrence. I am Suquamish. I come from the place of the clear salt water. I was born and raised on the Port Madison Indian Reservation in Suquamish, Washington. And my father is Steve Lawrence. My mother is Nancy Alexis. So I belong to the Lawrence family on my father's side and the Alexis family on my mother's side. We descend from Suquamish and Duwamish, Port Gamble, Skalalum. And on my mother's side, we descend from Puyallup, Yakima, Suquamish, and Duwamish. And I just really want to say thank you again for being with us today for this Power Hour. And thanks for tuning in. And I'm going to be trying to check the comments as often as I can. But I just really wanted to get into some music. I wanted to also acknowledge that usually right now we would be on the annual tribal canoe journey, which has happened every single year since 1989, and began with the paddle to Seattle. And there's a lot of history about the paddle to Seattle, but really wanted to share some love to the Heiltsuk Nation up in Bella Bella for putting out the challenge for Suquamish and surrounding nations to travel to Bella Bella by canoe in 1993. And that was actually the year that I was born. And that's significant to me because this revitalization of canoe culture back in the early 90s by so many of our culture keepers has made it possible for me to know tribal canoe journeys my entire life. There was so many things that occurred that made it so that my parents and my grandparents didn't always get to carry this culture, and tactics by the U.S. government that outlawed canoe culture. But this revitalization back in the 90s made it possible for me to know tribal journeys every year, every summer, throughout my life. I went on my first tribal canoe journey when I was 7, and I've been every year since. And so with this pandemic and not being able to be out on the water this year and be in protocol and celebration, has definitely, taken its toll on my spirit and many of our spirits out there. So I just wanted to say, that even though we can't be together on the journey, it's definitely a blessing to carry these songs wherever we are. And me coming to all of you today from ancestral Ramaitush territory of Ohlone peoples here in the Bay Area, it's really special to be able to share some songs from back home. So I wanted to start today by sharing a song for the children and celebrating the children. And I was given permission to share this song by the Morset Belmont family up back home in Suquamish. And it's just a song that is wishing all of you out there who are raising children during this time a lot of love, and really sending love to the hearts and minds of our youth who are adapting in this time right beside us. And my prayers are that you are all safe and healthy and supported and advocated for wherever you are. So this is Children's Celebration. T'eli Bafchad, I will sing now. Oh, 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 Gwaskochatha osaftash altis lache alti wiutuchas oe Gwaskochatha osaftash altis lache alti wiutuchas oe oh, 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 again, that one is called Children's Celebration. Us boot boot la chi bi tu boot le chas si ab to. We are lifting our hands to you noble children, and sending our love, our song, our prayer to all of you. And to those of you incredible parents who are raising strong children, who are adapting and adjusting and being present, I hope that, this time has provided opportunity to just be present and share time and connect and learn. I know so much about capitalism before quarantine had us all on the move all the time, and maybe we weren't able to spend as much quality time with our loved ones. And I really hope that though this has been difficult and traumatizing and so many emotions for all of us, I know that there are many of us who are doing our best to remain grateful and find those things that we're able um, to uplift and acknowledge as, the good parts of this time together. So I wanted to open up today. Again, my name is Calina Lawrence. For those of you who are joining in to our NWI Power Hour week number 20, I have the honor of just spending the hour with you all and sharing some music, sharing some songs. I am Suquamish. I currently live as a guest in occupied Ramaytush territory in the ancestral village of Yalamu, which is known to many as San Francisco, California. I've lived here for the past 6 years, and I am just honored now to be a full-time performing artist and recording artist. And I was born and raised in Canoe culture back home. Grew up singing all kinds of musics. I grew up in NAC singing peyote songs for a couple of years in my childhood. Grew up, on tribal journeys and singing Coast Salish songs. I also hit the powwow trail for a while and was singing both northern and southern for a couple of drums back home. And I also grew up in the foster care system, and one of my foster families when I was younger, they were bluegrass musicians. And and they were really able to introduce me to my love for a lot of contemporary genres. Also, all of my brothers were all hip hop heads. So when I got to spend time with my brothers and my cousins, they had me on game with all of the great hip hop artists and back in the 90s. And so my influences for music have really come from a lot of different places, and I've been grateful to learn as a student, and now to be able to create songs that are relevant to my life and relevant to the indigenous, the pan-indigenous experience, as folks here on Turtle Island, and our journey through colonization, settler colonialism, and really going to school during a time when a Native representation in all kinds of media really wasn't present. So I went to the University of San Francisco, and got my bachelor's degree in performing arts and social justice, concentrating in music. And this is something that we as an indigenous people have done since time immemorial, have used music for consciousness, for awareness, for social movements, for storytelling, for documenting, and teaching. And music has really been a part of all of our cultures. And today we are just finding contemporary ways to utilize music to tell our stories from our perspective, to represent ourselves, and to expand the consciousness of what it's like to be an Indigenous person in 2020 in these colonial United States. So I'm just grateful, to be able to use music in this way. So I started today by sharing a song from back home to celebrate the children and acknowledge that our spirits would be out on the canoe journey right now. And I was asked by Jeline, who is an incredible human being, a strong Indigenous woman, and a crucial part of the Native Wellness Institute, to come share some music with everybody today. So I'll kind of be talking, I'll kind of be singing. Some of my music will have backing tracks, and some of it will just be a cappella. But yeah, we'll be together for the remainder of the hour. And I want to thank everyone for showing love in the comments. I really appreciate you all. And yeah, so my apologies if I kind of jump around a little bit. I'll kind of be plugging in stories and information in between songs, and just, yeah, enjoy the time together. The first song that I wanted to share that comes from my professional career as a contemporary artist is just a little snippet of a song called Generations. And the song is featuring Gaia, and she is a San Francisco native. She was born and raised in the Excelsior district here in San Francisco, and she was 13 years old when I asked her to be a part of the song, and she did so with grace. You can head to any music streaming platform and search Calina Lawrence, and listen to the full song. But today I just wanted to start with just an a cappella verse, and share with you just a little bit about this. I was in my final semester of my bachelor's degree when many of us answered the call from the youth at Standing Rock to stand for water and to help protect their water and to protect their treaty rights and to protect their sources of life from big oil and capitalist interest. And because I tried my hardest to help use social media to spread the word about what was happening on the ground at Standing Rock, but I also wanted to write some music, share some music, and try to do what I could to bring awareness. So I wrote this verse during the beginning couple of months that the camps were established out there, and also thinking a lot about past generations, future generations, and our teachings of decision making, and thinking of all generations in the decisions that we make is a teaching that is pretty common across a lot of indigenous cultures here. And so this is called Generations. Think of the generations who will inherit this nation. Include them in our choices. It's our job to lift their voices. I gotta pay respect to the movement that is hip-hop, the people that create to express, have that beat drop. The words of the silence telling stories for a cause. I'm thankful for the artists who stood up to spit how it was. I'm native and I'm peaceful, but I'm tripping like the voyage. Tired of the greed, deceit, destroying earth like we can make it without water or air. She ain't ours, we are hers, and we cannot compare. Our job is to preserve, though we don't deserve to remain. We can't contain our ego, don't live equal, need to reframe. Rich folks make systems of fear and hypocrisy while we slip through the margins of this so-called democracy. I said I'm native and I'm peaceful, standing rock hard like Dakota. North, south, bring east and west, we're gonna show up. Check your privilege and your comfort, your history, and reflect. Don't confuse protect with protest, and instead use a platform for a cause and listen when the earth says, without me those lungs of yours are so gone. Without earth these lungs of ours are so gone. That's why we gotta think of the generations who will inherit this nation. Include them in our choices. It's our job to lift their voices. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So again, that song is called Generations, and it would go on to another verse, which is by Gaia, and I really hope that you all could head to YouTube or iTunes or Spotify or SoundCloud and check out that song, listen to her verse. She was 13 when she wrote it. She was 14 when we recorded and released this song, and she's 17 now. It's been 4 years since we brought that song to life, and it's still relevant. There are still so many of us out in our communities who are protecting our lands and waters and all living beings beyond humans, and my love goes out to everyone who is on the front lines in whatever ways, and our ongoing fight here to protect, and recognizing, right, the difference between protest and protection, something that is highly misunderstood to, I would say, most of society. As indigenous people, we are protecting our natural laws, while we also acknowledge the importance of protest, right? And for instance, the Black Lives Matter movement and the ways that they are protesting the laws that exist that do not stand for the dignity of their lives and the protection of their lives. So to protest laws that exist that are harmful, and to protect laws that exist that are preserving. So recognizing that, and finding ways to bring this this knowledge to the consciousness of society, so that we can maintain our visibility. And music has always been a really important tool. It's more than just a tool, though. It's an extension of ourselves, and that's why it's always been so successful, and so crucial to all of our generations as we continue to heal. So again, that one is called Generations, and thank you for the love and support. I have been adapting to online services and finding ways to bring the best sound to all of you. And one of those challenges has been finding ways to play my backing tracks along with the live streaming. And every platform is different. So today I will be playing the backing track for my next song from a Bluetooth speaker. So I'll definitely need you guys to let me know how the sound is as well. But this next one is called Songbird, and it's actually off of my debut album, which is called Epicenter. This album released 2 years ago this month, came out August of 2018, and it was my first project released as a professional musician and performing artist and recording artist, and it's really special to me. So I did want to go ahead and try to test this out and see how it see how it goes for you all. And let's see here. Get my volume up. See if it can go. Can y'all hear that backing track? It was produced by Thomas Kreger, and this song just really goes out to those who love to sing, even if you're not professional musicians, and those who haven't sang in a while. Broken home, hurtful past, crowded classrooms too. Testing times, pushing back, cut out after school. Abandoned car near the park, best for writing songs. Pull out the pen and began to right all the wrongs. 7 billion people. What can just one do? Parents gone, grandma stays, a teacher or two. Just straight A's in poetry, subject to fall through. Timid tongue, fortress trees, car windows broken out. Open chest starts to sing, no fear of being loud. 7 billion people. It's a lot of people in the world. What can just one do? Tainted trust, fractured love, lack of self-esteem. Uninformed without a glove, parent at 16. Broken dream, no support, no school and no stage. Can't repeat, can't report, forced to come of age. 7 billion people. What can just one do? Songbird, songbird, you're essential 'cause you're unafraid of empathy and blues. Songbird, songbird, you free the world when you serenade with melodies of truth. 10 years pass in full swing, silence is a gift. Time to shout but not to sing a favorite riff. Empty house, middle May, stroll around the square. Fortress tree, stranded car, a familiar place. 7 billion people. What can just one do? Joyful tears, happy fast, painful memories. Playful scat scales, crack bikes are less scary. Reminisce, write again, best for honest songs. Sing out loud now and then to survive the wrongs. 7 billion people. What can just one do? Songbird, songbird, you're essential 'cause you're unafraid of empathy and blues. Are y'all songbirds out there? Songbird, songbird, you free the world when you serenade with melodies of truth. Songbird, songbird, you're essential 'cause you're unafraid of empathy and blues. Songbird, songbird, you're essential 'cause you're unafraid of empathy and blues. So again, that one is called Songbird. Thank y'all so much for the love. I'm trying to keep up with the comments and it's just really overwhelming, and I'm really grateful to all of you. That one is again on my debut album, Epicenter. I've been really blessed to create music professionally, to travel and perform for the last 3 years since I graduated college, and I've had so much support from so many nations across the country, across the world. I've been blessed to travel to Pueblo territory, to Kumeyaay territory, up back home to so many nations, back in Salish territory. I've been able to travel across to Lenape territory and perform. I've been able to travel across the ocean to Wurundjeri and Gadigal territories over in colonial Australia. And it's just really been a blessing to be able to find ways to write songs about my life, about so much that we have endured, both trauma and resilience. And again, my name is Calina Lawrence. Yes, you can find me on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Calina, last name Lawrence. I come from Suquamish, from the Lawrence and Alexis families, home in Salish territory. And today I'm just spending the hour with you all. This is NWI's Power Hour week number 20. So for the past 20 weeks, NWI has been holding space for all of us on Facebook and bringing so many incredible healers and culture keepers to the live stream. Today's sponsor is, in fact, the Urban Indian Health Institute of the Seattle Indian Health Board, who has been on the front lines back home in the streets of Seattle since quarantine began, recognizing how many ways the current government structure has really let down a lot of our communities. But as Indigenous peoples, we have always utilized mutual aid, and we have always come together to support each other. And so this time has been no different. But we're really grateful to those who have really been in the streets and supporting those who really need the support. So thank you to NWI, thank you to Urban Indian Health Institute, and to all of you out there who are joining in today. I'm just kind of going to be talking and singing back and forth for the rest of the hour, sharing some of my contemporary music and poetry with you all, and really happy to be here. Thank you to Jilene, thank you to Shailene, my best friend, someone who I've literally talked to, probably the only one I've talked to literally every single day of quarantine. And Shailene is just someone that I respect and love beyond English words. Shabitid, Chud, Shailene, I have so much love and compassion for you. So had to shout you out real quick. I don't know where you're at. Maybe you're sitting in the car, maybe you're at home, but I love you. Thank you guys for having me today. The next song I wanted to share is also on my debut album, Epicenter, and this one was written predominantly focusing on foster youth. I am a survivor of the Indian Child Welfare Act of the foster care system. I spent 15 years of my life in foster homes throughout the Suquamish area, and raised by so many different families, so many different people, and a lot of people in my village really stepped in for my parents who were having a tough time and didn't have the tools and the resources to parent me and my siblings. So there's a lot of folks in my community who stepped in, and there's a lot of indigenous youth and just a lot of youth of all walks of life who are impacted by the foster care system, by the ways that colonialism has attacked our family dynamics and has attempted to break our families and our communal ways of life. So to any of you out there who are foster youth, who are foster parents, who are parents that have lost your children to the system, I wanted to create a song for us. I have a really amazing sister by the name of Desiree Harp, who is Dene and Mishua Wapo, and she's also impacted by the system. And so she agreed to collaborate on this song with me. So shout out to Desiree, shout out to our Dene relatives who are going through so much. Our prayers continue to be with you all, and however we're able to help, please know we are here. This one is produced by DJ Loot out of Oakland, California. And I'll be sharing Desiree's verse. Hers is the second verse, obviously, since she can't be here with us today. But this is called Don't Count Me Out for foster youth everywhere. Release my heart from grief and negligence. I guess I handle pain with elegance, but I'm screaming, when is enough enough? This can't be it. I'm losing grip, I'm giving up. Back in the day, this world took my innocence. It's like trauma means the same as indigenous, historical, current, and the in-between. From age 3 all the way to age 18, ward of the court without a soul to trust. Whole families lost and forced to readjust. Now 24, yes, my knees buckle. I must alleviate these red struggles, addiction, poor health, jail, and suicide. These things are killing our people nationwide. Addiction, poor health, jail, and suicide. These things are killing our people, genocide. No more surviving, it's time to thrive. If it's death or life, don't count me out, don't count me out. No more hiding, it's time to shine. When the people rise, don't count me out, don't count me out. Spiritual warfare transfers into the physical, pain still there. Staying alive is a miracle. Used to the struggle, so I fought myself, giving people rebuttals when they offered to help. Trusted no one, stopped giving thanks for life. Creator shook me. Truth is I almost died. Took tragedy for me to open up my eyes. Couldn't recognize abuse cause it was normalized. I am the sacred. Understand our ancestors are with me. I'm held by their hands, I lost hope. Against the wall by my throat, my heart broke. Couldn't be the story I wrote. Perpetuating violence, sacrifice my health, only down to break the silence when it helps someone else. Can I help the world before I help myself? The strength inside of me is truth of the self. No more surviving, it's time to shine. If it's death or life, don't count me out, don't count me out. No more hiding, it's time to shine. When the people rise, don't count me out, don't count me out. The stars are bursting inside us, it's time to show. We're beautiful beyond imagination. There's no time like the present for us to grow. There was a time when I thought that I wouldn't make it. Now I choose to carry on. I look around and I see the strength of my people. I know I'll never be alone. No more surviving, it's time to thrive. If it's death or life, don't count me out, don't count me out. No more hiding, it's time to shine. When the people rise, don't count me out, don't count me out. 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 Don't count me out. So again, that song is called Don't Count Me Out, and it's featuring Desiree Harp. You can find that on all music streaming platforms. And again, I'm so grateful to be able to join you all today for Native Wellness Institute Power Hour, week number 20. I really love checking in, trying to read the comments while I sing. It's like, oh, you guys are hyping me up. It's really been hard to not be able to be together and gather in spaces, but there's just something about being able to read all your comments of love and support while sharing wherever you are on the other end of that screen. Just thank you so much for joining me and for your attention while I share some of the music that I've been able to bring to life over the last couple of years of my professional music career. That song has been really special, and we've received so much love for it. Yes, it is dedicated to foster youth, but it definitely speaks to so many aspects of our lives when we choose to not only survive what we're going through, but to thrive and to be okay with thriving and to give ourselves permission to thrive, give other people permission to thrive, and to find ways to stand in our brilliance, stand in our gifts and offerings, stand in our greatness, and shine as Indigenous peoples, while we recognize all of the tactics that have tried to dim our light, that have tried to take our dignity. It's really an important responsibility to make music that speaks to this, and also to share space, to be given a platform, to be able to speak. That is an honor and a privilege that I'm very grateful for, and I don't take lightly. So again, Don't Count Me Out. You can find that on all platforms, and send love to our foster youth everywhere. I really want to recognize that there's an intersection at all of our causes, if you want to call them that. All of our movements, they all intersect. We find ourselves impacted by all of the exploitation that exists via capitalism, settler colonialism, and we advocate on behalf of all people who are suffering and struggling. And right now, this current transition in society is really calling for an end to gender-based violence. Um, a lot of our indigenous communities were matrilineal, matriarchal prior to um, Western settler colonialism and patriarchy and violence perpetuated by men against women and femme and two-spirit and gender non-conforming folks has really been prevalent, and it's really important that that violence ends now. So again, as a foster youth, statistics will say, that I am more prone to being on the receiving end of violence because of the instability or other ways that my dignity has been stripped from me. And I'm really grateful to be able to be here today as a 27-year-old Indigenous woman, while we know that many of our women are taken during this time frame between the ages of 24 and 34, at the hands of our spouses, our ex-spouses, at the hands of the man camps that are created around oil pipelines, and also at the hands of a lot of non-indigenous men in the world, and in our communities. And this next song that I want to share is written on the intersection and the connection between violence against women and girls and two-spirit peoples and violence against Mother Earth that we are seeing. And this is a call for an end to both things. So this song is called Gaia, and it's also on my album Epicenter. And I'll just share it a cappella for you all. No one man has power over we. Got this fool in the White House says he wants to grab me. Heard it before and I'll repeat it again. Society fails when you disempower women. No. So brother, will you stand with me? I need you to stand with me. Don't wait till it's too late, till I can't breathe. No, Gaia, Gaia, oh, Gaia, Gaia, oh, pray. Gaia, Gaia, oh, Gaia, Gaia, pray. On sacred land the rain is falling down. I hear something rumbling, Grandma, what's that sound? She said they're building a pipeline right under our feet. But we say capitalism, you cannot move me, no. So brother, will you stand with me? I need you to stand with me. Don't wait till it's too late, till I can't breathe. No, Gaia, Gaia, oh, Gaia, Gaia, pray. Gaia, Gaia, oh, Gaia, Gaia, Pray to the water, pray to the people, pray our ancestors, protect us from evil. Pray to the water, pray to the people, pray our ancestors, protect us from evil. So, brother, will you stand with me? I need you to stand with me. Don't wait till it's too late, till I can't breathe. No, whoa, whoa. Gaia, Gaia, oh, Gaia, Gaia, oh, 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 pray. Gaia, Gaia, oh, Gaia, Gaia, oh, 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 pray. So that song is called Gaia, and again, we are calling for an end, a stop completely to the violence against women and girls and two-spirit peoples, against femme and gender non-conforming human beings. This violence, please end this violence in whatever ways that you can, in every space that you're in your homes, in your families, in your workplace, in your schools, in any way that you are able to stand up and speak out, to instill these teachings in our youth now that this violence is no longer tolerated. It has never been tolerated, but it is possible to live in a world that is free of this violence against us and against our sacred Mother Earth and our sacred places, the givers of our lives, water, and the elements. So that song speaks a little bit to that, and recognizing the correlations and the intersection of all of this really important heart work that we do. Again, my name is Calina Lawrence. Sokwabj Chud. I am Suquamish. I come from the place of the clear salt water, back in Coast Salish territory. I'm joining you all today as a guest in the ancestral territory of Ramaitush Ohlone people, and just honored by NWI for the invitation to come spend this Power Hour with you all. This is Power Hour week number 20, and our sponsors are the Urban Indian Health Institute of the Seattle Indian Health Board. Yeah, I probably have time for about one more song with you all. Thank you for sending so much love in the comments. I wish I could just go through and acknowledge every one of you individually. I see you, I love you. I'm so grateful to just be together through the screen today, if we can't be together at all. Really grateful for this opportunity. I feel like one of the songs that I try to close out my time with as often as I can is one that I consider my dream come true, as a musician and as a Suquamish woman. I was able to recently release my first song, which was written, performed and recorded entirely in the Twolshutsi language. I am a forever student of the language, and I have been blessed to have different teachers throughout my life. One of them definitely being to listening to elders on tribal journeys growing up, and hearing small phrases in Lashutsi, and learning to introduce myself and my lineage as a young girl, and taking Lashutsi classes at our tribal high school back home in Suquamish. I took a couple of years, and then I went off to college, and I I was separated for a little while from the consistency of hearing the language, and then I was able to join my Puyallup relatives via their online Tulshutsi classes throughout the quarantine, and so I'm so grateful to my teacher Chris Bryden for uh, really encouraging my love for the language and consistently teaching me more. So this last song that I wanted to share with you all was one that I wrote as a student of the language and as a lifelong student of our culture and our teachings, finding, and also as a student of hip hop, and really grateful to our Black and African American loved ones, those of the African diaspora, and those Afro-Indigenous who created hip hop out of the need for expression and to again tell our stories. So many decades ago, hip hop now is being used in so many ways, and one of those ways is to preserve, to promote, to engage in speaking the language. And I think I remember a couple of people were saying in the comments, they wish that they could speak their languages or know their languages, and my love goes out to you all. I hope that the resources become available, or you are able to reach out to those language keepers in your communities and find innovative ways to continue being a student. I'll share this last song for these last couple minutes, and thank you all again for joining. NWI is saying tomorrow we have cooking with Thosh and Chelsea, so be sure to tune in to NWI every day, Monday through Friday from 12 to 1, as they continue to provide these power hours for all of us to come and be together. All of my music is online, and you could check it out there. Please head to YouTube and watch the music video for this song, As Halit Ti Twilshutsid, one translation being Lashutsid is alive. The language of Lashutsid is alive, and the music video was a really special process involving a lot of people in my community back home, and also directed and produced entirely by an indigenous creative production company by the name of Canyon Productions, and Tomas Carmelo Amaya, who all of you are probably very familiar with, doing a lot of work through NWI and Indigenous 20-somethings project. He's just an incredible all-around talented person, and his partner Sierra Begay helped with the production of the music video for The Shutseed is Alive. So I would love for y'all to be able to go check that out and see what we were able to bring to life as Indigenous creatives. So yeah, I will close out with this. It is usually a call and response, so the chorus would involve you all yelling at me in Lashutseed. I would ask us Khaid Chalup, how are you folks? And you would respond us Wallah Chal, we are strong. So that would be the call and response during the chorus, and it's just so much fun. It's so much joy to be able to perform this in venues with different audiences. But for now, wherever you are on the other side of the screen, feel free to do your best at speaking Lashutseed with me, and reminding yourself that you are strong, we are strong, we'll be okay, we'll get through this. So I'll close out going a little bit over, because I really think context is important. I really like to explain a little bit about my music before I share it, just to give a little bit more insight as to why and what this creative process was like. So this one is Us Halit Twil Shoot Seed, and it goes a little something like this. Earlier I was trying to tell myself I'm gonna say T'eli Baf Chud before I sing each song, which means I will sing now. I said it a couple times, but I'm trying to ingrain that in my mind to let you know that I will sing now. T'eli Baf Chud. So, I'll give you a little preview. The call and response will be like this. Us Khaychalab, us Wallah Chat, us Khaychalab, us Wallah Chat, us Khaychalab, us Wallah Chat, us Wallah Chat, Thu Wallah Chat, us Khaychalab, us Wallah Chat, us Khaychalab, us Wallah Chat, us Khaychalab. Us Wallah Chat, us Wallah Chat, Thu Wallah Chat, Hod Yafti Quo, Yafti Swatu Tad, Athok Chat, Jadab Chat, Pud Hadab Oak Ach Test Asab, Puds Asab Puk Olel, Pud Hadab Oak Ach Test Asab, Puds Asab Puk Olel, Toshuti Asali, Toshuti Asali, Asaliti Toshuti, Toshuti Asali. And now it's the call and response. Us Khaychalab, us Wallah Chat, us Khaychalab, us Wallah Chat, us Khaychalab, us Wallah Chat, us Wallah Chat, Thu Wallah Chat, us Khaychalab, us Wallah Chat, us Khaychalab, us Wallah Chat, us Khaychalab. Us Wallah Chat, us Wallah Chat, Thu Wallah Chat, Wafwalik, Abalik, Obab, Ob, Slachil, Ti Doop Suck, Oto Alcha Doop Suck, Ob, Hat Tislachel, Us Halit Chad, Hat Tislachel, Buck Tid Sia, yeah, Hat Tislachel, At Si Stel Bucha, Guadzada, Twil Shoot Seed, Us Halit, Ti Twil Shoot Seed, Us Halit, Us Khaychalab, us Wallah Chat, us Khaychalab, us Wallah Chat, us Khaychalab, us Wallah Chat, us Wallah Chat, Thu Wallah Chat, us Khaychalab, us Wallah Chat, us Khaychalab, us Wallah Chat, us Khaychalab, us Wallah Chat, us Wallah Chat, Thu Wallah Chat. We are strong, we are strong, we will be strong. Again, Hawadoobs Chalup. Thank you folks so very much for having me, for joining me, for sharing your words, your kind words of love and encouragement. Thank you for supporting the Native Wellness Institute. If you're just joining, just learning about NWI, they are an incredible organization that has just done so much work for all of us for so many years, especially every single day throughout the quarantine. These power hours happen. There's cooking, there's music, there's dialogue about so many current issues that are happening. There's just all kinds of love that they share through the power hours every single day. So anytime you need that uplifting, definitely tune in here. Thank you again to our sponsor, the Urban Indian Health Institute of the Seattle Indian Health Board. Please follow them as well and keep up with their great work. Again, I'm Calina Lawrence. I come from Suquamish, and all of my music is available online. If you search my name, Calina, last name Lawrence, and my love is with all of you. I really want to also shout out really quick my good friend Amber Hayward of Afro-Indigenous Sladite from Spuyallup Opsh. She has also been one of my teachers in the language and has shared a lot with me. I try to say, to end my time using the language as often as I can. And one thing that she has shared with me is one way to send you all off. Hat qui saslab sabutlab, which is watch over yourselves well. And Hoya Chad, I am finished. O Shabi to Bushle Chad. I have love and compassion for all of you folks. Hoi